My name is Jen, and I'm with a recipe site called Recipe4Living, and we're all about user-submitted, easy-to-use recipes. And so we're really interested to know what tips do you have for beginning chefs?
That's kind of a broad question, Jennifer. The thing about when you first get started cooking is you want to just kind of concentrate on certain things, keeping your cooking simple to begin with. Don't try to add in multiple ingredients at one time. You want to keep things simple and perfect what you're doing one step at a time. Like, for instance, chicken. Chicken's an easy thing to cook because you can find it easy. It's easy to pick up at the store. It's not expensive, so you can try 3 or 4 times, making sure you don't mess it up, right?
Yeah, that sounds great. And can you tell us a little bit about your new product that you have with Hellmann's, the chicken change-up?
Right. The chicken change-up is just what I was talking about. You want to keep your life as simple as possible. We don't have a whole lot of time, but yet you want to start cooking and be a little bit more adventurous. The chicken change-up offers that opportunity. So you take some simple chicken breasts, boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and we're going to make a little recipe here with some Hellmann's mayonnaise, about half a cup of Hellmann's mayonnaise. Add that in the mixing bowl. Add in some fresh Parmesan cheese, about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. Now what we're doing is, in general, obviously chicken's very lean. So we want to add in not only flavor, but an opportunity to keep the chicken a little more juicy. So by not having any skin on the chicken, we want to add something back to it that gives it a nice crust, nice little crunchy crust, and yet flavors the chicken and keeps it moist inside. So we mix up the mayonnaise and the Parmesan cheese, and then we spread it right on top of the chicken. About an 1/8 of an inch thick on top of there. Do it on top of all four of these chicken breasts. And you don't even need to add salt and pepper because luckily with Hellmann's, all the seasoning is already in the mayonnaise itself. So it's really 4 ingredients: Parmesan cheese, Hellmann's mayonnaise, and then we're going to add in some breadcrumbs right on top of it. Now when you add the breadcrumbs, this is what creates that kind of crunchy crust on the outside, the kind of texture that you look for when you're cooking. So we add this right on top, just like so. And these breadcrumbs, they get in with that cheese, and you can smell it baking in the oven, that kind of crispy, really crunchy flavor of the Parmesan cheese kind of coming out. We bake that at 20 minutes for about 425 degrees. And it comes out just looking beautiful, like when I have finished right here. I've got some nice, beautiful crust on the outside, juicy and moist on the inside of the chicken. And then what you do is you take that, Jennifer, and you move it a step forward, and you go, okay, now that I do this Parmesan crusted chicken, what else can I add to it? Can I add some chili powder to it, or maybe some soy sauce and that same mixture with the cheese, and kind of change it up? That's kind of the idea. The chicken change-up, taking your normal chicken breast that you normally bake and turn it into something that's really nice and great and easy to do.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
This is something that American families are just going to love.
Oh yeah.
So in your cooking experience, we know you have several restaurants. Could you tell us a little bit about your favorite styles of cooking? Because you have a very big variety of experience.
I cook with a lot of wild game. So not only wild game, but game fish. So I cook a lot of unusual meats. But quite frankly, the first thing I cooked was a chicken breast that I sautéed in a pan with a coating that's kind of similar to this. But if I would have known that I could have used mayonnaise, it would have been a lot easier for me. We had to do all kinds of different steps. But in talking about what you're talking about, in learning how to cook, this is some basic stuff. You're adding flavor. You're adding a nice texture to the chicken by using the Hellmann's. And at the chicken change-up, on Facebook, if you go to facebook.com, there's hundreds of recipes that are similar to this one. And it offers you an opportunity also to line up for our sweepstakes, where we're giving away a $5,000 gift certificate to a grocery store at the end of April.
Very cool.
Yeah. That'll buy you a lot of chicken and a lot of opportunity.
Very good. Okay, Tim, well, thank you so much for talking to us. We know our users are going to love these recipes that are super easy to use.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for your time.
Cheers. Thank you, Jennifer.